Greetings and salutations. I am Poetic Heretic, and this is an article from Mysterious Universe about the origins of the dark entity that came to be known as the Slenderman. The internet can be a spooky place. Here, strange tales and secrets pass to the masses and infest every dark corner of the web, and the lines between fact and fiction, reality and fantasy become blurred as stories are passed on and evolve to take on a life of their own. This wilderness we know of as the internet is crawling with all manner of the bizarre, the unsettling, the creepy, and indeed inscrutable creatures and entities that lurk in its shadowy recesses. With the help of the internet, at times a piece of this dark, spooky lore can truly catch on with the public consciousness and dig its tendrils deep, pulling itself out of cyberspace to slither and ooze into the real world, in a sense to move out from the shadows of its cyber habitat and into the shadows of our reality. These phantoms move out to influence us and take shape beyond anything their humble beginnings may have suggested, and show just how much of a potent force the web has become. By far the most well-known and widespread tale of a phantom born from the internet is none other than the very creepy, very unsettling Slender Man. This mysterious entity is most often depicted as a tall, unnaturally thin figure with a vaguely humanoid shape, freakishly long arms, and a face usually described as blank and featureless, all typically garbed in a dark suit and tie. The lore says that Slenderman can shorten or extend his arms at will, and can also produce a variety of physical effects such as nausea, dizziness, memory loss, paranoia, nosebleeds, and intense coughing fits. Other abilities often attributed to it are teleportation and mind reading, and photographs or video of it are said to turn out distorted or warped. The origins of the creature can be traced to June 8, 2009, when a blogger calling himself Victor Surge, who would eventually be identified as a Florida resident by the name of Eric Knudsen, posted a pair of images he had created onto a thread for the website Something Awful. The name of the thread was Create Paranormal Images, and was designed to have contributors Photoshop pictures in order to make them appear eerie and paranormal, in order to see who could make the best new supernatural creature that could be convincingly passed off as genuine on the internet. It was in essence a hoax contest. The images that Knudsen posted were two black and white pictures showing groups of children and teenagers with the chilling sight of the Slender Man lurking behind them. The images were unsettling to say the least, and making them even more disturbing was the fact that they were accompanied by pieces of scrawled text that further added a layer of the bizarre to them. One such piece of text served as a caption to one of the photos and read, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead." On another photo, doctored to make it look burned, was a fake library seal that read, "One of two recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. ... Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence. 1986. Photographer Mary Thomas. Missing since June 13th, 1986. These chilling captions made the creepy images even more convincing, and were enough to give the photos an added sense of reality, with some who saw them suspecting that the photos were perhaps even real. Knudsen further added to the mystery, and stoked the creation of a legend when he returned to the forum just a few days later to add new pieces of information to the lore, in the form of fake doctor reports telling of examinations of alleged victims of the Slender Man in the 1990s. One of these reports detailed a photo of the gory remains of a victim that were supposedly found by a patient at the fictitious Woodview Mental Hospital and Psychological Rehabilitation Clinic, and it was further claimed that 33 patients later mysteriously vanished from this institution. After these posts, the Slenderman legend really started to take off and generate a life of its own. Amongst rumors and whispers that the whole tale was perhaps real, there appeared numerous follow-up posts featuring additional photos of the purported Slender Man, as well as allegedly true sightings and incidents concerning the creature, all which steadily added to the mythology and powered its rise to internet legend. One of the first of these was an account by a poster who claimed that he had felt compelled to come forth with his own tale after reading Knudson's original posts. In this case, the poster spun a spooky tale of a group of missing campers that his police officer uncle had investigated, which was of course bolstered with a photo of the Slender Man supposedly given to him by the uncle. The forum continued on with various other tales of mysterious vanishings, sightings, and all-around high strangeness, all firmly connected to the Slender Man and further catapulting it into a viral phenomenon. Many commenters came forward with their own frightening encounters with the apparition, where it was typically described as stalking and terrorizing the witness in abandoned places or wilderness, often just on the periphery of vision. Other, more sinister stories told of the Slender Man killing people or abducting children. It was not before long that Slender Man was everywhere, rapidly permeating the internet and spawning found footage videos, video games, fan art, online fiction, films, and an ever-growing library of supposedly real photos of the monstrosity. It had spiraled out of control from a Photoshop project into an all-pervasive, universal boogeyman, and a dramatic example of the collective generation of a genuine piece of modern-day folklore created by the crowd, with each person digesting the basic premise to come out with their own extensions and permutations of the mythos. If the traditional appearance of folklore over countless generations of passed down stories was like the slow crawl of evolution, then this was seeing that evolution rapidly fast-forwarded to observe how it spreads and gains its roots, how the change takes place, all with breathtaking speed thanks to the limitless reach of the internet. One folklorist from Indiana University named Jeff Tolbert said of the rise of Slender Man, "It just exploded. It became a phenomenon that I don't think anybody could have predicted." This was perhaps where Slenderman would have stayed, confined to online mythology and spooky unverified tales and sightings, like campfire stories passed around into legend, until the entity in a sense made a very real foray into our own reality. On May 31st, 2014, two 12-year-old girls by the name of Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire created a wave of shock throughout the media when they lured 11-year-old Peyton Leutner out into the woods near Geyser's home in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and proceeded to stab the girl a total of 19 times before leaving her for dead. Amazingly, Leutner was able to somehow survive the violent, harrowing ordeal and crawl to safety, after which the two perpetrators were arrested and a bizarre tale began to emerge. It turned out that Geyser and Wire firmly believed that not only did Slenderman exist, but that he had requested they kill someone to please him. Indeed, they believed that they or their families would be seriously harmed if they did not follow through with his commands, and that they would even be allowed to come live with him if they succeeded. After the stabbing, the two girls even claimed to have set out on foot to find Slenderman out in a faraway forest, where they thought he would be waiting for them. The story sparked international interest in Slenderman, and the story became a sensation, showing up on TV and in countless newspapers and tabloids and putting the dark internet legend in the mainstream spotlight. There was much talk on the effect of such popular culture on impressionable young minds and debate as to whether the internet had gone too far this time. For his part, Knudsen himself expressed sadness and remorse about the incident before dropping off the map. In the meantime, Geyser and Wire would be tried as adults and found to be suffering from deep-rooted mental issues, with Geyser actually claiming to be in direct telepathic communication with other characters such as Harry Potter's Voldemort and the Vulcans from Star Trek. To this day, she apparently insists that Slenderman is real. The whole story of this case was covered in the 2016 HBO documentary Beware the Slender Man. As if one such crime wasn't bad enough, another similar crime played out barely a week after the Leutner stabbing. On June 9, 2014, an Ohio mother came home from work to find her teenage daughter standing silently in the kitchen, wearing a white mask and holding a kitchen knife. The girl then stabbed her mother and later claimed that she had done it to appease Slenderman. It was later found that the girl had been utterly obsessed with the Slenderman character, writing extensively about it and even creating a world for it to live in within the video game Minecraft. Whether either of these crimes can be blamed on the Slenderman or not, it certainly shows how these urban legends and reality can sometimes intertwine in the strangest, sometimes violent ways. Interestingly, although the origins of Slenderman have been found to be firmly the construct of a human mind, there are still alleged sightings of the phantom in the real world. Does this mean it has taken form from constant belief, or is it just the echoes of a persistent piece of lore? That concludes this fascinating and disturbing look at Slender Man. Don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.